Hello, and welcome to the Thyroid Warrior podcast. I'm Ebony, and I'm here as your wellness facilitator. I'm going to be sharing my experiences in managing Hashimoto's disease, and I really hope that it'll help you on your personal journey. Keep in mind, however, this does not substitute as medical advice. It is only for your information and motivational purposes only. Now, let's get started. Hello, friends. I want to take some time to reintroduce myself, and I want to take a different approach to the podcast because, as you may or may not have noticed, I have taken a break from podcasting and honestly from doing a lot of things because, one, I have been just doing a lot with my family, but also me personally, there is a lot shifting, there is a lot happening, and I just wanted to share that with you. And also, I wanted to talk to you about implementing series for the podcast. And the reason why I want to do that is as I am going through this journey of healing, of processing, and of learning more about who I am as an individual, I want to be able to give you the best of me. And I am learning that for me in particular, rest is radical and rest is very needed. And in order for me to really and truly give you the absolute best, I want to make sure that I am rested when I am providing you information, because I believe that everything is a transfer when it comes to energy. And I always want to make sure that you are getting the best of me because I'm very protective of you and I don't want to put out garbage. And not saying that any of my former episodes were that, but I don't want to do something because I should. And I have been laying down that word should for at least 6 months. So in order for me to be someone who is able to advocate for others, I have to walk the walk and talk the talk. So that is partially what we're going to be doing here. And also, I am working very hard to find experts in the field to be able to provide you with the most accurate and up-to-date information as it relates to living your happy, healthy, and joy-filled life. So that's kind of here's where I've been, this is where we're going. And I also have been working on just developing a framework for how I coach and how I teach. And if you follow me on Joyful Ebony or the Thyroid Warrior podcast or even Sula Beauty Co., all of that is connected. And what I will be sharing more in upcoming episodes is my 4-step method called the CANE method, CANE. And it stands for Care Management, Advocacy, Nutrition, and Exercise. And in traditional methods, when you think about care management, it really and truly takes a patient-centered approach as it relates to helping our patients get the best outcome possible. But I really want to take that a step further, and that's where there is an intersection between care management and advocacy, in that for every individual, you also have to think about what are the standards of care that I want to have? What type of medicine do I want to use for myself? And how do I speak up for myself to make sure that I'm going to be able to get the care that I want, need, and deserve? So we're going to dive deep into what that means and how that works, because for me, thinking about all of this is so incredibly important because we have an aging population, we have a new population of disabled individuals as a result of COVID and those that are suffering with long COVID and other complications. And there's a lot to think about. there's a lot to uncover. There is a lot to discuss. And I think even as I'm learning more and more about disability and ableist language and violent language, even, I'm working on changing how I serve you and everyone else in my circle. So there you have it. There's an update of all the things. Today's episode, season 1, episode 161. We're getting reacquainted. I am Ebony. I have Hashimoto's disease. I have had it. I found out about it in May of 2009 when I was doing research at the University of Minnesota. And it was horrible. Absolutely, positively horrible. And the biggest thing that I am grateful for is the experiences that I've had. And I for a long time, specifically before doing the intense amount of therapy and body work and all the things that I have been doing over the last couple of months, I am no longer holding on to the sadness that used to completely and totally overtake me as it relates to my condition. And I know that that is not the same for everyone, but I really want to offer you some hope because I've just been paying a lot more attention to different pages, different people, and what's being said. And I want to encourage you to take some time to really and truly write down, who am I? What do I stand for? What are my values? What makes me happy? What doesn't make me happy? And how do I want to feel? And I know I've talked about this in past episodes, but really think about that. Because for so long, I was so busy trying to achieve, trying to force my body to do things that I just didn't want to do, trying to be all the things for all the people. And I just hurt myself in the process. And for the next couple of episodes, I want us to dive deep into this concept of getting to know yourself. And as I am reintroducing myself to you today, I want you to be able to do that same thing for yourself. And one of the more important lessons that I'm learning is just how important community is. And I keep playing around with the idea of creating a community for us to come together. And I'm really beginning to think that it's time to do that. And as I am moving on and thinking about being in a new space and thinking through everything that I've gone through up until this point, one of the most important things right now is I need to be around other like-minded people who want to be happy, who want to learn more about themselves, who want to just do what's necessary, but also those that are okay with doing so with ease. And for many of us, and honestly, I'll just speak for myself, that was a difficult concept to process through, that concept of I can walk through this with ease. Because in the medical system, a lot of times we're met with difficulty. We're met with, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? How am I going to get through this? What specialist do I need to find? Oh my gosh, I have to find a primary care doctor. There's just so many things that we have to think about. But rather than taking the approach of, oh no, I have to figure this out, it's for me been, wow, I get to do this the way that I want to now. And that wasn't always the case. And I am so excited to share this path that I have been on. And I literally just got a message that my primary care physician is leaving the practice. And it's funny because I knew that I wanted to find a new primary care provider, but in my mind, I was just like, well, let me just get through this next well check and I'll find one. But apparently everything just kind of worked out in my favor and was like, no, you're going to find one now. You're going to find one now. So apparently that's what happened. But fortunately, I still have a relationship with my endocrinologist so that I can at least get my medication, because that was the only thing that I was like, oh no, wait. But it's taken care of. Everything will be fine. But the final thing that I want to present to you, which I realized I didn't actually say earlier, was squirrel, was my method of coaching and what I'm learning in that and how I want to be able to support people. So I'm very excited about what's coming. I can't wait for you to see it. Please go ahead and email me at joyfulebony@gmail.com if you have some ideas or suggestions about what you would like to see in terms of that community and all that fun stuff. I would love to hear from you. But in the meantime, be happy, be whole, and be well. Take care. Okay, thyroid warriors, get out there and take things one step at a time. Remember, reflect on your triumphs, know that you are doing your best, and do what you need to do in order to be well. I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to this podcast and share this episode with a friend. And don't forget, leave me a review. I read those and try very hard to improve the show based upon your feedback. So I'd love to hear from you. And with that, be happy, be whole, and be well. Take care.